You are now listening to the Masters Mahan podcast.
Episode 24, Demons 101, a primer. This episode may be deemed inappropriate for some listeners. If you have been abused or are a minor, you should stop now. This episode builds on the previous ones. Lucifer, the so-called bringer of light, has many names, the most famous of which is Satan. This is not a name that he particularly likes because it means enemy, and it reveals too much about him and his motives. Still, Lucifer Satan is schizophrenic, as we have said too many times. Liars lie and can't live in truth for a variety of reasons. One of the main ones is found in the ancient concept of happiness.
What is at stake is more than one small country. It is a big idea, a new world order.
Now this is where I was born. I was born in Kenya.
Unless we take the action necessary and we build in a greener and more sustainable and more inclusive way, then we will end up having more and more pandemics and disasters from ever-accelerating global warming and climate change.
Wise leaders always put the good of their own country first. The future does not belong to globalists. The future belongs to patriots.
We will never let radical socialists destroy our economy, wreck our country.
Here in Israel, they're making this green passport where the population cannot get into theaters or malls or all sorts of things. They're creating a medical apartheid.
There would be an enormous economic collapse prior to the revealing. The stock market would destabilize. It would make the Great Depression look like Sunday school.
Happy, happiness, happen, and happenstance all come from the same root in English.
The trouble with schools is they always try to teach the wrong lesson. They want you to become less callow, less shallow. But I say, why invite stress in? Stop studying strife and learn to live the unexamined life.
The idea was that happiness is what happens when one's life unfolds naturally. Happiness is happenstance when one fulfills one's design in the creation of God. One of Satan's major tricks is to attempt to alter reality through mythology.
I believe that he's gay.
Ask how he identifies.
How do you identify?
Actually, I identify as...
Oh, here we go. It's that long plethora of,
what?
Oh my God.
Wait for it.
I will. Let me get a chair.
If one believes the lie, one charts the wrong course, and then happiness can't happen.
Dancing through life, skimming the surface, gliding where turf is smooth. Life's more painless for the brainless. Why think too hard when it's so soothing? Dancing through life, no need to tough it when you can slough it off as I do. Nothing matters, but knowing nothing matters. It's just life, so keep dancing through.
These then blame God for their misery because there was no happiness at the bottom of the rabbit hole. At the end of the Rainbow Road,
up we go, the rainbow-covered skyway. Up we go, the rainbow road to us.
after the way to Eleusis, or in the Emerald City.
So, what's the most swankified place in town?
That would be the Ozdust Ballroom.
Sounds perfect! Let's go down to the Ozdust Ballroom. Come on, follow me. You'll be happy to be there. Dancing through life. If only because dust is what we come to. Nothing matters, but knowing nothing matters. It's just life. So keep dancing through.
While Lucifer Satan is a formidable enemy and is the source of most of humanity's suffering in the world, he is not as powerful a being as he has convinced us all to believe. He is also easily bored.
This is boring. I'm bored now.
If he can't get pleasure from messing with you, and if you are quick to point him out in reality, which he hates because he hates himself, he is quick to leave you and go mess with somebody else.
Hi, I'm Whoopi Goldberg, and you're working out with Whoopi.
Oh, pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
Lucifer Satan is not powerful enough to be everywhere at once, and so he uses his army of demons to spread his lies. Since less than 1% of humanity understands how this works, let's change that now by entering the gates of Oz. It is important to know one's enemy. Let's step into the darkness by entering the gates of Oz with the Luciferian passphrase.
Who are you? Who are you?
There is a sixth dimension beyond that which is known by most men. It is a dimension shared by the slaves of mind control. It is the lowest ground to which some have descended, and it lies at the pit of man's desire to control another. This is the dimension of trauma-induced terror, where all of the cataloged personalities and demons live, and the master can call the one needed to possess a slave for a particular task. It is an area that we call the Who Are You zone.
Senator, your girl will be here any minute now. Her dad is dropping her off. We're going to handle this the same as previous trades. We'll expect you to not forget us when the bill comes up for vote.
I won't forget. How could I forget? I might as well put a gun to my head with what you've got on me.
Shut up. Stop your crying and come over here.
Okay.
Now stand here and knock.
Here we go. Hello.
Hi.
Come in. Who are you?
Why, I hardly know, sir. I'm afraid I cannot say because I'm not myself.
I do not understand. Who are you?
It isn't clear to me who I am.
Let me help you. You are Susan.
Susan?
Oh, yes. Now I remember.
Susan.
Yes, Master.
Are you ready for your job?
As you wish.
I need you to go with my friend. He has a job for you to do this weekend. When you are done being used, I will come and collect you.
Yes, that sounds good.
Now go along and do as you're told.
The devil has a real kingdom. It exists on the spiritual plane, but it is as real for those who inhabit it as is the physical world that you and I live in here and now. It is nothing like modern religions portray it. If you need a physical example of Lucifer's kingdom, the easiest earthly examples are the Los Angeles International Airport, or XLAX, Costco.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
Welcome to Costco. I love you. Welcome to Costco. I love you.
Or sadly, yes, Disneyland. Let's start with one of the modern wonders of the world is LAX. It is both a marvel and a nightmare. Servicing over 100,000 people every single day with so few problems, it is an astounding achievement in efficiency. While it does take some planning, you can fly out of, into, drop off passengers or pick them up surprisingly quickly and in a shockingly effective manner. Yes, there are frustrations and little to no room for error nor individuality. If you follow the system outlined, you will have a successful love-hate experience at LAX.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
Costco Wholesale Warehouse is the same. Everyone there is helpful and friendly as long as you obey their rules to the exact letter.
Warning! Costco has detected a dangerous fugitive in aisle 16,702.
If you don't, you will quickly see that they consider you fortunate to be in their presence, and that you are not needed nor really wanted if you step out of line. You either do it Costco's way, or you can be dragged out by the Mickey policeman.
Yes, I think I'd like that.
Well, I think they have taken it down now. There used to be a sign at the exit of every Costco, white with red letters that said,
"We check the receipt of every person exiting our store to make sure that we never overcharge you. This helps us continue to keep our prices low for you."
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
Yeah, sure. I always smirked as I watched Charlie at the checkout grab my receipt, draw a line on it with a Sharpie, and then hand it back to me without even looking at it, and saying, "Thank you for coming in, we really appreciate your money." Occasionally, Checkpoint Charlie would pretend that he was looking to see if I really did have the $40 4-pack of deodorant and wasn't accidentally charged $400 for it. But not really. I had just been through their computerized scanning checkout system, so I already knew that all the prices were right, and so did they. Charlie didn't have a scanner at the exit.
Mr. Gorbachev, open this gate. Tear down this wall.
And so would not have been able to verify a price there anyway.
We've been walking forever. You sure you know where you're going?
Yeah, I know this place is pretty good. I went to law school here.
In Costco?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it myself. Luckily, my dad was an alumnus and pulled some strings.
There was only one time that I was ever mischarged at Costco for anything, and it was a big dollar item. It turned out that I noticed the error before I got to the exit and turned around. Charlie would not have caught it. I was just grateful that I noticed, even though it had come through the fenced-in, locked-down area and had been triple-checked. My point is, obviously everyone knows that Costco isn't checking receipts to protect me. They are doing it to protect themselves. They think that I will believe the propaganda because they put it on a sign.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
The truth is that it is done to stop shoplifting and me from stealing something.
I'm here today to give you the skinny on shoplifting, thereby completing my plea bargain with the good people at Foot Locker of Beverly Hills. Shoplifting began here in ancient Phoenicia. Thieves would literally lift the corner of a shop in order to snatch the sweet, sweet olives within. Oh, Shahekazaramesh, will you ever learn?
This probably is diminished with an East German-style Checkpoint Charlie at the exit. It's a little like when my local church tried to suggest that somehow male facial hair was a sin, while we looked up at a beautiful face of Jesus Christ above the Holy Communion table, the same face that I was told to emulate in a full beard and mustache. Fortunately, we seem to have gotten past that stupidity and hypocrisy in the greater body of Christ. The commonality here is the love-hate experience. Lucifer wants you to be filled with love-hate, as this causes contention. It is very stressful to both love and hate something at the same time. Ask any Angelino about LAX or the 405, which they call Carmageddon. And you, after you suggest that something should be done about it, they will shrug their shoulders and say, I hate it too, but it's bad for everyone, so at least we are all in this together. See it? They hate it, just like they hate their governor.
Cut-rate Gavin Newsom imitator called Spencer Cox.
But what can you do? They honestly believe that if everyone is miserable together, then it's okay.
He's beyond belief.
You can either do it Costco's way and try and be happy, buying what they want to sell you in larger packs than you need, or you can go away. If you complain that they keep moving their kilo-sized boxes of adult diapers to new locations in the store, or they've decided to stop offering croissant sandwiches, you can kiss off and die.
I will have you executed for this!
If you don't spend $300 a trip on milk and eggs and some overpriced granola, you are the one who missed the good deal.
Doc, come here a minute.
The truth is that Satan's real kingdom, the one Christians call hell, is not a place of fire and torture. It is really more like LAX, Costco, and actually Disneyland. I promise to explain this eventually.
Gosh!
But it needs to be in an intermediate podcast, since it will never make sense until demons do.
It's great to learn, because knowledge is power!
So we need to get back on track. Demons are nothing more than fallen angels. As such, they too were made in the image of God and look like we do. But they are liars, just like their master demon Lucifer is a liar, and so they prefer to appear in disguise. Their favorite disguises resemble something beastly, because they know when they look in the mirror that they are looking back at the face of God, the same one they rebelled against. They have rebelled against their Father. We need not say, but that's Costco's way of saying that now we are going to say it because we feel we really do need to.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
That every human being knows the pain of familial conflict. Children want their parents' love and acceptance. Sons crave their father's stamp of approval and their mother's comfort. Daughters want to commune with their mother's femininity and be seen with admiration by their dads. Those that never get this will claim that they have been robbed by the universe. And rightly so, because they have been robbed. This is a hole in their hearts that is not fixable in this life, but will be in the next for those who make it. Lucifer, as both John the Beloved and John Milton told us, was the source of heaven's rebellion. As such, he is the chief, head, alpha dog, demon of them all. All other demons follow his orders or pay the price for their insubordination, and his wrath within his mafioso gang-style society.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
More on this later, I promise. Since Lucifer Satan can only be in one place at one time, he has divided up the world into regions. Each region is administered by an archdemon, whom the book of Daniel calls a prince. Lucifer prefers to use the old Chaldean terms, but since you need a pound of phlegm in your throat to pronounce some of them,
Shlama Iluch, Shlama Ilach, Shlama Ilochun, B'shayna Theluch, Allah HaSharik Luch, Basamagyanuch, Allah HaEmuch.
We'll just use their basic English equivalents, since it's hopefully something you don't really need to know anyway. Under the prince of a region, there are dukes or governors.
In the name of my most royal majesty, I knight thee, a sirloin of beef.
Then the upper bureaucrats.
I knight thee, Earl of Cloves.
The managers.
I knight thee, essence of myrrh.
The workers and the peons.
There's a place and a purpose for everyone.
So everyone is happy.
Everyone belongs to everyone else.
We have to respect deltas and gammas and betas.
Everyone is useful. But I'm so glad I'm a delta. I'd hate to be as dull as a delta, or have to take orders like a gamma,
or to keep track of things like a beta.
If you want to get a very accurate feel for what it can be like living in Satan's kingdom as a rising star, get a copy of the book Inside the Aquarium, The Making of a Soviet Spy by Viktor Suvorov.
Boris, you have great idea.
No.
I have it, darling. A contest. I like being evil because in 25 words or less.
I like it.
I have found no other single book that captures the essence of what it is like as a demon playing Satan's game, trying to kiss butt with the archdevil and rise the ranks from peon to upper management.
Everyone is useful, but I'm so glad I'm an alpha.
Then that book, As Above, So Below. Remember? That astounding book aside, most of us can relate easily enough to Satan's kingdom by functioning as one of the cogs in any modern corporation.
Oh boy, the boss sure sounded mad.
The CEO at the top sets the agenda, and his various vice presidents over causes, agendas, or regions figure out how to make the agenda work in the real world. These then organize their specifics and give orders to the employees who do the actual work, along with any peons assigned to help them on the project.
Now that we're friends, I've decided to make you my new project.
You really don't have to do that.
I know.
You rise up the ranks and receive privileges by being obedient to your supervisors and being successful in achieving your part of the head boss's agenda. You will find yourself marginalized, pigeonholed, and minimalized if you fail. If this sounds a bit too Hollywood mega-villain,
We will now proceed with the area financial reports. Number 11.
Distribution of red China narcotics in the United States, $2,300,000.
Our expectations were considerably higher, number 11.
Competition from Latin America. Prices are down.
Are you quite sure all monies have been accounted for by yourself and number 9?
To the penny, number 1.
On the contrary, I have satisfied myself that one of you is clearly guilty of embezzlement. Spectre is a dedicated fraternity whose strength lies in the absolute integrity of its members. The culprit is known to me. I've decided on the appropriate action. Let us now proceed with new business. You will hear from number 2, who is in charge of our NATO project.
know that your eyes are opening. Where do you think they learned this crap? As above, so below. Remember? Well, there is so much I need to tell you about all of this. Here is the crucial part for 101. Satan cannot read your mind, but he can watch your actions and listen to your opinions, assuming that he has eyes and ears on the ground to watch and listen to you. Since he can literally only be in one place at one time, the major agenda in all his plans is to get you to ruin your life, or get another human being to ruin your life, and then have you blame God for what happened.
Okay, we agree now. What happens in Emerald City stays in Emerald City, okay?
So, you should know that each of you are being spied on from time to time, depending on the assignment given to the demons in your area. Various peon demons in a community watch to see what a human does and says. Notes are kept, and these are reported to their managers. These are constantly on guard for weaknesses as potential openings to exploit. Let's say that they notice you lingering about an X-rated movie poster.
Hubba hubba.
Or lusting at some gorgeous woman. Or man.
Subject.
Let's say they overhear you coveting a neighbor's Lamborghini. Or worse. All of this gets reported back and moved up the line where strategies and further planning is discussed via committees and plans of attack for you and communities are devised. Some of it can be very sneaky. Here is an actual example from real life of how this works. Some years ago, a mother was happy to discover that she was expecting her third child. It was a bit of a surprise since she and her husband thought they were done with children, but happily surprised that she was pregnant anyway. She was a bit nervous, being older, and she expressed some concern about her energy levels and whether or not she could handle a new baby now, being out of practice. But at the same time, she was very excited, and so was her husband and their children. The baby arrived without issue, and Mom was doing fine. She had brought the baby home, and life was good. Not too many days passed, baby was sleeping, and Mom was in the kitchen chopping vegetables for Chinese stir-fry, a family favorite dinner. It was then that a thought, nearly like a voice, shot into her head.
Why don't you take that kitchen knife and stick it in your baby?
Mom was so overcome with shock that she nearly cut herself as the knife fell from her hand. In terror, she looked at the knife, speechless, nearly paralyzed with horror. She would never do such a thing, God forbid. And then the master demon's trick. She next heard.
You must be the sickest, worst, most terrible mother on all the earth to have thought such a thing. You are sick and need help. How could someone like you ever be trusted with children? What would your husband say if he knew that he had married such a monster?
Brilliant. Clever. Demonic. Here's another actual example. A young man was in the gym working out and trying to improve his physique and build up some muscles. Why not? The human body is the crowning temple in God's creation. It is his masterpiece, so much that he made mankind in his own express image. There is no gift higher in the Most High God's creation than to be made in his express image. As he was working out, he started admiring some of the men and women working out around him. Some really knew what they were doing and had built up beautiful and admirable bodies. He found himself playing that male game where you take a look but try to look away just before it becomes clear that you were staring. One particular man caught his attention. Not only was he well built, he was also handsome too. That's a nice combination. The thought ran through the young man's head.
That's a good-looking guy.
Well, that was true enough. Some guys are good-looking. They just are. Who wouldn't want to be good-looking? It sure beats having killer BO and being as ugly as a three-legged mangy mongrel. Then the trap.
You think he's sexy? You're attracted to men. You must be gay.
The young man was startled. He didn't think he was gay. Was he gay? Maybe he was gay. Maybe that's why he liked looking at muscles in the first place. Do you need more examples? There is nothing inherently wrong with being nervous about providing for a newborn baby. There is nothing strange or abnormal about noticing a handsome man or a beautiful woman. There is nothing sinful or odd about any of that. I have more actual examples. But you see how this works? You can bet that had the new mother not realized the ruse in time and said, "Depart from me, demon," she would have next been played that she needed medication and psychiatric treatment. You can bet that had the young, hot, sweaty, sexy, did I say young and sexy? Young man hadn't said, "Get thee behind me, Satan," he would have next had thoughts about what it would be like playing with those muscles. Or maybe his... That's how it works. Christians used to call this being tempted.
Hey, how about a smoke, partner? Go on, smoke it. It'll put hair on your chest. You ain't afraid, are you? I'll show you how to smoke like a man. See? Now you try it. Ah, you smoke like a baby. Come on, take a real drag. Oh. That's the stuff, Don. What's the matter? Can't you take it? Take another puff. Be a man. Keep it up, kid. You're doing great. Boy, if you don't look funny.
Those who don't give in or spend too much time being worried about why such a thought drifted through their head shrug it off and move on. Those that hold on to the thought and ponder, worry, or consider it get noted by the tempting demon, and the next step in their plan for you is implemented. It's easy enough to tell another's weaknesses by what they linger on and what they hold on to as nonsense passes in and out of their minds. You don't have to be a mind reader to know what a person is thinking in that moment. Those of us that seem to be following the agenda set out for us are often handed off to a more powerful demon to further training and indoctrination. Where do you think the great cults of yore
to LRH
learned their techniques? You might be surprised to learn that much of the
I think I'd be happier as a cat.
Love is love.
My husband needs to make more money.
You don't need to say you're sorry.
He never asks how I'm doing.
Women are for breeding, men are for sex.
I have to do it all and be it all.
If God really loved you, he would stop your suffering.
Something is wrong with me.
If you're not happy all the time, something is wrong with you.
I am not enough. I am enough.
I have to handle everything.
He just wants to fix things.
She is always grumpy.
Why can't men be more open with their feelings?
She's always looking at her phone.
He never listens.
She only opens her mouth to nag.
Your man is not emotionally present.
She constantly complains.
He's just an overgrown kid.
She shuts down my advances.
He's only nice when he wants sex.
She doesn't take care of herself after marriage.
He doesn't appreciate how hard I work.
She acts like my mom.
He just wants me for sex.
She's the bossy parent.
He doesn't tell me how pretty I am.
She's not thankful for my providing.
He doesn't make time for me.
She has nothing outside of me.
He doesn't support my inner emotional self.
I would be happier if so-and-so were dead.
You might be surprised to learn that much of that did not originate with you, even though you thought it did. We will have so much more to say on this topic and on the true reality of hell after death soon. But this is 101, and we must set the stage to prepare the script. Many years ago, a young lost soul, Mike Warnke, joined a coven in Southern California. He so impressed the Illuminati that he was made into a junior group leader, given an assignment to recruit young college students into Satanism. He was well paid, given 2 blonde service bimbo slaves, and a budget to run his operations. He later escaped. But here is his assertion, as one in the know, on demons in general.
Last day leaving
The ceremony to the Great Mother got underway without a hitch, and the other 2 master counselors knew exactly what they were to do and did it, leaving me free to concentrate on raising a demon. As I started the ritual for raising a demon, the thought went through my mind that most people outside of witchcraft and satanic worship do not believe in demons. So many refuse to believe until they see or feel something for themselves. By the time our ceremony was over, any skeptic who could have viewed it would have been made into a wholehearted believer. I was proud of myself for pulling it off without a hitch. As members of the Brotherhood, we probably understand better than most people because we use demons to accomplish our evil deeds. These are Satan's helpers, fallen angels, who were expelled with him from heaven. They are an invisible presence. You cannot see them, but you soon know they are there. There are legions of demons. No one knows how many. Perhaps some demonologist could name all of the commanders of legions of demons, but the rank and file way outnumber living humans. Some groups have favorite demons on whom they call again and again to inflict their enemies. They call Master so-and-so or Master such-and-such, and then ask for the favor they have in mind. Demons have to do what they are commanded under their commanders, but like rebellious children, they really resent their obligation to serve and to serve you. You have to know the proper way to safely bind and unleash a demon, or they will stomp on you, to put it mildly, if you forget any one of the safety measures to control them. In our ceremonies, we called on our master to give us a demon who would do all kinds of mischief to persons that we didn't like. We thought up all kinds of crazy things that only satanic-oriented minds could possibly dream up. We had control of a satanic demon, and we were going to use him. Although often demons themselves to do their own destructive deed without our help in directing them, but we placed our orders and commands in anyway. Most humans don't know that demons can inflict disease, can possess men, can possess animals, can oppose spiritual growth, can disseminate false doctrines, and can torment people. Demons can talk or can cry with a loud voice, using the tongues and lips of a human. They can tell lies. They make people believe lies. They can even preach sermons. They can stand, walk, and seek rest when embodied in a human being. They can tell fortunes, make people strip off all their clothes, cause suicides, render a person insane, or cause a body to be seized and bound in affliction. They can cause jealousy, pride, and lust. They can drive a person into deep despair. Demons seek to inhibit human bodies that they might work out their indescribable lust and evil longings that they can't do without one. They will not willingly leave the human body they inhibit if they can get into one. If cast out, they will seek to re-enter the same body particularly. They love inviting other demons to come into that body with them. I personally know that as many as 2,000 demons have inhabited one human male.
Now, since I know that most of the world who hasn't actually seen it think hell is a fire pit and not actually like Costco, we are going to need to explain how those who know it know it. We might also tell you how you can find out for yourself as well, but you'd be an idiot to do it. Since all men and women die, and some will then end up at Costco.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
We promise to pull back the curtain.
Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
And tell you more about what many will find there. Hopefully not you. But that part is out of this podcast's control. Forearmed is forewarned. More to come. Back through the water curtain.
You cursed brat! Look what you've done! I'm melting! Melting! Oh, what a world! What a world! Who would have thought a good little girl like you could destroy my beautiful wickedness? Ah, the moon! The moon! I'm going!
Rationale for fair use of copyrighted items used. Fair use law allows fair use when copyrighted material is being used to make a specific educational, research-based, scholarly, and/or critical comment on the work being used.
You shall know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Masters Mahan will continue.